You can support In the Past Lane by buying some of our merchandise, like shirts, hoodies, mugs, and stickers. Just go to our website, inthepastlane.com. Thanks.
Whoa, hit the brakes. You've arrived at the #1 drive-by for American history. Welcome to The Pit Stop. Brought to you by In the Past Lane, the podcast about history and why it matters. Here's Edward T. O'Donnell, your host and historian at large.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to The Pit Stop, your Monday morning source for history on the go in just about 5 minutes. If you're new to the podcast, we offer this mini feature every Monday, in addition to our full feature episodes, like our most recent one on African-American pioneers in the early West. Here's what happened in American history the week of December 17th, 2018. Let's start with birthdays. December 19th, 1875, pioneering African-American historian Carter G. Woodson was born in New Canton, Virginia. This son of former slaves went on to earn his Ph.D. in history from Harvard University in 1912. Woodson dedicated his life to the study of African-American history, believing that African Americans needed to know the important accomplishments of earlier generations of their people. He believed this knowledge would inspire African Americans to struggle to elevate themselves and gain their full share of American liberty. One of Carter G. Woodson's legacies is Black History Month, which he first established as Negro History Week back in February 1926. Of the importance of African American history, Woodson once wrote, "If a race has no history, it stands in danger of being exterminated." December 20th, 1881 is the birthday of Major League Baseball player and sports executive Branch Rickey, who was born in Portsmouth, Ohio. Branch Rickey was one of the great innovators in baseball, but the move that made him famous was his decision in 1947 to elevate an African-American player named Jackie Robinson to the Major League roster of the Brooklyn Dodgers, thereby breaking the so-called color line in baseball. The decision proved controversial, but Branch Rickey stood by it. He once said, "Problems are the price you pay for progress." December 21st, 1940, one-of-a-kind musician Frank Zappa was born in Baltimore, Maryland. Frank Zappa's music was hard to characterize. It was weird, experimental, provocative, satirical, and eclectic. Some of his songs had titles like Wowie Zowie and Who Are the Brain Police? The one you probably know best was the pop hit Valley Girl. Frank Zappa once said, "If you want to get laid, go to college. If you want to get an education, go to the library." December 22nd, 1912, that's the birthday of First Lady Claudia Alta Johnson, better known as Lady Bird Johnson, who was born in Karnak, Texas. December 23rd, 1867, cosmetics entrepreneur Madam C.J. Walker was born in Delta, Louisiana. Walker grew up in extreme poverty and experienced a good deal of violence and abuse in her early years, but she later took to developing and selling beauty and hair products aimed at African-American customers. She eventually employed thousands of African-American saleswomen and became the first African-American millionaire. Madam C.J. Walker once reflected on her status as a self-made woman by saying, "I got my start by giving myself a start." All right, what about events? December 17th, 1903, at Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, Orville and Wilbur Wright pulled off the first flight of a self-propelled, heavier-than-air airplane. With Orville at the controls, the plane stayed aloft for 12 seconds. The age of flight had begun. December 19th, 1776, Patriot intellectual Thomas Paine published an essay titled The American Crisis. 1 year earlier, Paine had earned fame for his pamphlet Common Sense that helped convince many Americans to embrace the cause of independence. Now, with the Revolutionary War raging and the Continental Army reeling and in disarray, Paine wrote the crisis as a call to the people to maintain their commitment to the cause. George Washington was so impressed with it, he had it read to his soldiers at Valley Forge. December 20th, 1860, 6 weeks after the election of Abraham Lincoln, delegates in South Carolina announced that the state was seceding from the Union. And the primary reason they cited was not the tariff or states' rights, but the desire to protect slavery. Eventually, 10 more states would secede and then unite as the Confederate States of America. December 20th, 1957, rock and roll star Elvis Presley was drafted into the U.S. Army. Elvis followed orders and reported for boot camp where, to the shock and horror of his millions of fans, he received a buzz cut. December 22nd, 1864, General William T. Sherman sent a special message to President Abraham Lincoln announcing his capture of the city of Savannah, Georgia. The victory capped off Sherman's famous March to the Sea, where his army cut a path of destruction through the heart of the Confederacy, from Atlanta to Savannah. Sherman's message to Lincoln read, "I beg to present to you as a Christmas gift the city of Savannah, with 150 heavy guns and plenty of ammunition, and also about 25,000 bales of cotton. Okay, time for the last word. Let's give it to Tom Paine, who published The American Crisis this week, back in 1776. These are the times that try men's souls. The summer soldier and the sunshine patriot will, in this crisis, shrink from the service of their country. But he that stands by it now deserves the love and thanks of man and woman. Tyranny, like hell, is not easily conquered. Yet we have this consolation with us, that the harder the conflict, the more glorious the triumph. Okay, people, that's your history fix for the week. Now put it in drive and go make your own history.